Hey everybody, Pat Palmer, the computer guy here for another episode of Pat's on Periscope for September 21st, 2015. Glad you could join us tonight, and what a week we've had. I was spent the last week at on Wednesday anyway at the social media rockstar event at Jackpot Junction in Morton, Minnesota. Had a fun time with that, a very fun time as a matter of fact, and went up there on Tuesday night. I went through wound my way up north through Spencer, saw my in-laws at the Clay County Fair, got a chance to buy them a nutty bar at the fair. It was in my budget. They were worried about that, I think. And so anyway, that sent me back about $6. But anyway, we had a fun time up there. And then from Spencer went up right up north. Hello there. Hello. See, I can't see the... And I'll get into that in a minute. But anyway, we're broadcasting here from Hampton with the computer guy. And so anyway, I ended up in Morton, Minnesota at Jackpot Junction for the social media rockstar event. I don't know if you can see that straight or if that's reversed. But anyway, that is the event we were at. I was going to kind of review a few things that happened there. Of course, I get there the night before, have a few drinks with the folks that are the speakers. Of course, they kind of accept me. This is my third year, and hello. And I just pull up a chair and act like I know everything and kind of BS my way through all of it anyway. So had a chance to sit around and meet with all the people that were going to be a part of the Rockstar event. I did line up two people to be Periscope guests, or actually Skype guests, at our social media breakfast in December in Mason City. So Jason Falls and Janet E. Johnson will be on the docket for December for the social media breakfast. So we'll be able to maybe videotape that or capture that for our friends on Skype. But we had a good day. The day started out, of course, with registration about 8 o'clock, and they welcomed us at 8:45. Sarah and her gang did a tremendous job, as always, welcoming everybody to the social media rockstar event. And we had Marcus Sheridan talked about competition and your website, and don't be afraid if you have a website to name your competitors. Don't be scared to name your price. He says, be the Carfax of your area of expertise. Because if you go to Carfax, buying a car nowadays is different than buying a car, let's say, 10, 15 years ago, where you had to deal with the car salesman, the used car salesman. And now Carfax takes all the guesswork out of it. It puts the price, it puts all the details, the VIN number, all that stuff, and whether you agree with Carfax and some of their practices or not, basically it's pretty much upfront with mileage and service records and whatnot, and the kind of car you're going to get. So that's what they were talking about is being that, is getting out there and making sure that you, even if you expose, let's say I'm very, very busy, and people say, Pat, you're busy, I need this done right away, who can you recommend? The guy said it's not the worst thing to put on your website, several recommendations of people you'd recommend if you can't. All right. Anyway, putting your competitor on your website may or may not, pan out. If you are so busy that you cannot do all the work yourself, and someone says, Pat, you're pretty busy, do you recommend anybody? Then maybe you should put a few of your competitors on your websites and explain all of the things that you cover, all the things maybe that they would cover, or just take a generic snip off of their web page and paste it into your web page and say, XYZ Computer Company does this, and this, and specializes in this, and this. And here's their phone number, or their website, or whatnot. So that's something to consider too, is promoting your competitor on your website, and you may get hits for your website even if they search for XYZ Computer Company. It still may go to your website. So that's something to consider as far as that goes too. describing your business and describing on the FAQs the pros and cons. So many times Marcus kept talking about people just say the good things, the good things, the good things. Well, maybe if you have a product, and he used fiberglass swimming pools as an example because he sold fiberglass swimming pools. And so anyway, it was either fiberglass swimming pools or concrete swimming pools, and he told the FAQs and the pros and cons for both. So did a very good job. He is, if you're keeping track of those people on Twitter, he is at the Sales Lion, and that's Marcus Sheridan. Following up, Marcus was Bob Jenkins, and Bob talked about Facebook advertising, some very valuable things on landing pages and ads and how to make landing pages work for you, and also talked about the Facebook. There's a little advertising nugget now. It's not really called a nugget, but anyway, you sign up for it, and you can drop this line of code in your website, every website that you have a sales page on, and then of course when people hit that, then it will track your sales and how successful you are at your sales. So some Facebook code, put that back into the back end of your website, and it will track your sales for you. And Bob Jenkins, who is at Bob the Teacher, can explain that. And he's at Bob the Teacher. He's from Lead Pages. That was his group that talked on that. Betsy Armstrong was there with some information about constant contact. Talked to Adam Dentz, who Adam, I'm not, to be honest, Adam has this was probably the best I've seen Adam. Adam's been there 3 years, and this was probably the best I've seen Adam, because it seemed like he talked. He had some troubles at the first. Murphy showed up, of course, with Murphy's Law, and the laptop didn't work with the projector, so that somewhat humbled him just a little bit. But anyway, he did have a good presentation. This was his third time was a charm as far as I was concerned about his content and his presentation. And he talked about Twitter groups, and he is with several Twitter groups, and he's a spoofer. It was a spoofing Twitter group that if you like spoofing things, they have a session every, I think it's Wednesday night, about spoofing. It's a spoof Twitter feed spoof group. So anyway, that's kind of what he talked about. Talked about if you're going to start an online community and you want to develop it, maybe it's time to trademark the name, reserve the website for that. So in case you want to turn what you're doing online into more of a website or a blog, you can do that as well. Of course, we had lunch. I had a fun time at lunch with all the gals from the Redwood Valley Chamber of Commerce. I told several funny, extremely funny stories, and of course they just wanted me to be their chamber member like right now and be their guest speaker for the chamber event coming up, and I said no. And then after lunch we had I'm still reading from my book here, that's why oh, thank you for that, thank you. And we had Joel Carson. Joel talked about various networks and various social media platforms. He said, don't try and master all of them. If you're on Twitter, Facebook, LinkedIn, do those well before you get into Pinterest or YouTube or Google+. Pick a couple and do them well, and then you won't have to worry about anything else. But if you spread yourself too thin, then things aren't going to work out. You're going to fall behind in all of the networks, and that's not going to be that great. We had a little bit of a breakout session, and then Janet E. Johnson, talked about Periscope and a couple things about Periscope, and some of the things I kind of had to bite my tongue on because I kind of knew it's tough when you know as much as the presenter does, or you think you know as much as the presenter does, because I've had people in the crowd that they argue with you when you're presenting, and that's no fun. So I certainly didn't want to do that. One of the things that we talked about was vertical video. And let's say this is our cell phone here, and the Periscope video is more like this. It's vertical video. I put it into a template to make it basically a horizontal video. Well, you can shoot the video like this. Of course, it's not going to fit into my template, but then it's going to also be a smaller video when you see it on your screen. So while the full size video fits this, now if you turn your phone like this and watch the Periscope horizontally, the whole thing fills your screen. However, you've got to be over a little bit because the comments come up and may block your face or block whatever you're trying to show. So if you're doing a demonstration of something and you've got 400 comments coming up through, then that's not going to help you out either. The kind of the rub where we had was she thought that since you could tape video horizontally, that you could reuse that video for everything and it would be horizontal, and it's not. I did that one night. As a matter of fact, I was at the Clay County Fair, interviewed my friends Kirk and Mary for Sleepy Hollow Resort, and I did a Periscope like this, and then I was going to just reuse that for Facebook, and the video turned out like this, and you would have had to turn your head sideways to watch the video, and that wouldn't be any fun, so we had to redo it again for Facebook. So something else I did agree with is using hashtags to promote your Periscope, but these emojis and the 500 little thumbs ups and the fireballs and the hearts and everything else, to me that doesn't make any sense. That just takes away. My old buddy Jim Latham from Clear Lake always said the empty barrel makes the most noise. And so to me, I said that if you have good content, people will still watch your stuff. Leanne Rhymes, before I just got on here, I looked at Leanne Rhymes, country singer Leanne Rhymes, is on Periscope, and she had a video called Untitled. She's Leanne Rhymes. You're going to watch it just to see what's going on, even though it's titled Untitled. So I don't think you have to have the 500 emojis and this and that. I do think, and I will come up with a hashtag. I'm not a big hashtagger, but since it is linked on Twitter, you may then fall into a popular hashtag that's going on now. So let's say I was wanting to get some fans of Dancing with the Stars to watch my Periscope tonight. What I may do is put Pat's on Periscope, the date, and then hashtag DWTS, Dancing with the Stars. That would trigger other people to say, there's a hashtag for Dancing with the Stars and it's on Periscope. Maybe he's going to talk about Dancing with the Stars on his Periscope. Now, if you do, that's fine. If you don't, then you're just baiting people in, and I really hate that. So don't bait people in with hashtags that aren't relevant to your topic. And so that's why I've got to find like a tech chat or some sort of hashtag that makes sense with Pat's on Periscope. So when this gets sent to Twitter, people know a little bit about what it's about. So, but she did a very good job. We also learned a little bit about Blab, and I hadn't been on Blab before. And Thursday, October 1st, I'm going to be on Blab with a gal from Colorado, talking about Periscope, I believe. And so that'll be my first shot at Blab. It does take, the handiest thing is to use your laptop or tablet video camera. Using the phone doesn't work all that well. One thing I did notice is that when you're driving down the road doing a Periscope, if you're driving, of course, that's against the law. But if you're a passenger and doing Periscope, in rural Iowa, sometimes you go between tower to tower, and there's, of course, what they call a handoff. So you go from one tower and then another tower picks it up. And so in rural Iowa, you may have handoffs that are noticeable. So you'll have some jerky video that's not consistent. Maybe if you're around a big city, there's a constant handoff, and maybe there's too many handoffs. And so again, your video may be a bit choppy. What I suggest is if you can log into a Wi-Fi network, that may be the best rather than like a 4G network. You get what you get, but if you're sitting still in one area and can lock in on that 4G network, that's going to be, in my opinion, a little bit better than driving down the highway at 65 or 70 mile an hour and being handed off by various towers and then having the risk of being dropped or this jerky video or the video not coming up or whatnot. So that's just a little bit about what she had to talk about, and of course what I'm adding into it. But anyway, good seminar with Janet E. Johnson, and then the finale, of course, was Jason Falls. Of course, Jason always puts on a good show. Talk a little bit about content and about analytics and looking at discovering insights through social data. And so his example was looking at various insights on restaurants and meals and people who he noticed that the keyword of dinner had made a big drop. And it was in the late August of when this happened. Well, because when school starts, the main concern, the most tweeted thing, or the thing that appears in social media the most is dinner. And because moms, of course, are adapting to a new schedule, or dads, and dinner is a main stumbling block when the kids go back to school. What's for dinner? So anyway, they were doing analysis on the word dinner and found there's a few things. And of course, when there's a big dip, like there was with that, that's when you hone in and look at that, and that could help your business. So if you're looking at featuring in late August a hashtag, the hashtag word might be dinner. That may associate you with restaurants or food or the food business. So if you're a restaurant, hashtag dinner, and you may find yourself some more customers. So that's kind of an example what he had. He did give out several websites for various things as far as what to search for and some analytics. So anyway, another good. I would give it a solid 9 out of 10 as far as that goes. There are a few snafus, and I think it's time to rotate the crops on a few of the speakers. So that's about what we have there. The hoax of the week is the dislike button. Do not, no matter what, do not download any app or anything that says add the dislike button. There's no such thing. I don't think there's going to be such a thing. They alluded to a dislike button earlier last week, and that's kind of somebody says, oh, you misunderstood what I meant. And right now, of course, the hoaxsters are out there trying to create hoaxes around the dislike button, and do not download that because it'll just get you into trouble. So, again, a great time at the Social Media Rockstar event. We repost this Periscope on my website, www.randomaccess.bz. Of course, need any computer help or social media help or help in general, like some people I know need it, you can just get a hold of me at the Computer Guy, Yankees, Yankeez at thecomputerguy.bz, or go to my website, www.thecomputerguy.bz. And of course, share this video with all your friends and let them know you're watching Pats on Periscope every Monday night at 8 o'clock. Hey, we ran long tonight, and so we need to say goodbye. But again, thanks to Sarah and her fantastic staff for putting on a great Rockstar, social media Rockstar event. I will be back next year, and I think it might be in Wilmer, but I'm not sure. But anyway, it was a good time. Except for my a vehicle breaking down on the way home, it was an excellent time. So anyway, www.randomaccess.bz is where you can find this replay on Wednesday. So we'll hope to see you then. Take care. See you later. Down on the way home, it was an excellent time. So anyway, www.randomaccess.bz is where you can find this replay on Wednesday. So we'll hope to see you then. Take care. See you later.